Hey guys.
Hey Yvonne.
This is a wave. This is jazz hands. Let's be clear. We're not done. We're just getting started.
Hey everyone on Facebook and inside YouTube, or on YouTube. Why don't you take it over?
I'm going to take this over. You have your coffee. Hey Yvonne, Paddy McGill here.
Cheers.
Rob Velasquez, and the one and only Jessika Phillips. How are you doing today? How are you this morning?
I am doing fantastic. Got some good sleep last night. I'm over the jet lag. I'm feeling good and ready to be here. So thank you for having me on.
You just got back from the beautiful, beautiful island of Bali. How was that?
It was incredible, like beautiful. The pictures don't do it justice. Just gorgeous location, beautiful scenery, just all the people that are there. That was just so kind and really understand customer service. And I was surrounded by 108 other just incredible creators and entrepreneurs and digital nomads that just lived, breathed all of this energy that it was contagious to bring back to me in Ohio. So yeah, it was really good.
It seems to be the thing now. There's a lot of people just up in sticks and moving to obviously places like Chiang Mai, Bali. We had a gentleman on recently. You know, Tom, and he does all his thing up in Chiang Mai. So it's what a thing to do. What a career to do, right?
Exactly.
What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah, exactly.
Or you can work from anywhere. Yeah, it was incredible to be surrounded. I was at Unconventional Life. And so these people were literally living the unconventional life. But when you can use the power of social media and just online with video and all the tools that we have at our fingertips to truly make connections and be able to work from anywhere, it is a great time to be alive.
And I want to touch on something you said there where you're talking about making connections. And, you know, today we want to talk about making relationships and building connections with people. So, you know, obviously social media is really, if I go back to like when I was, you know, picking up the phone, dialing 300 times a day as a recruiter in the banking game, you know, you're going to get turned down a lot. You're going to get people saying no, and it's very like frustrating. Yeah. But now obviously these days you can use social media to find the person that you want. So now it's about crafting that right message and actually reaching out to someone in an authentic way where it's just not, hey, let's just collaborate so we can both benefit from something. It's trying to open up. It's like trying to unlock a safe. I like to think of it like unlocking a safe. You've got to crack the combination. So Jessica, tell me a bit more about how you've like forged relationships throughout the world with people with the power of like
Yeah, so I like to say I was a destined entrepreneur before I really realized what that was. I always love to think outside the box. So a little bit about my background real quick to kind of bring you up to how I discovered relationship marketing as a thing and how it relates. So I worked in telecommunications in the day, showing my age a little bit here, when you had the phone and we were trying to convince people that they would need text messaging and video messaging. And they're like, no, I just needed to make phone calls. And so when you were saying you were dialing and, you know, trying to reach people and making phone calls to try to sell them something, that is like the worst job on the planet. I'm sorry for anybody that has to do that, because you are truly interrupting someone and trying to get them at a point where they're not really ready potentially for what you're having to offer, what you're presenting to them. And I was facing that as a salesperson, trying to push this new technology that now we use and all love and have super adapted today. But at that time, people weren't really ready for it. So I had to approach it in a different way. So I developed this thing called the discovery technique in my sales process. And instead of asking them to sell or try to sell them anything, I just started asking them questions about them and really getting to know them. And then it was natural in the conversation to kind of bring these other tools that I was like, oh, that would be so cool. You know, you could take a picture and then send that to someone and ask them, do you think so-and-so would like this for Christmas? And, you know, then it would naturally kind of, they could envision that service in their life, and it became a natural flow. So it didn't feel like sales. It didn't feel like marketing. It didn't feel like pushing. So I gradually grew kind of in my career there. At the telecommunications company I was with, started working with mom and pop shops because my promotion was a distribution partner. And then I was trying to teach these mom and pop shops to do the same thing and sell our service over some other providers that they had in there. And they had no marketing budget. Beautiful thing of social media was coming around at the time. And I was like, you know what, we could do the same thing and highlight the reason people are choosing your store because of the service that you have, and do this online and on social. So it was amazing time for them because they had time, they didn't have the money, right? So they started using social and fell in love with it. right around that time, I was having a family, got pregnant, super sick, and ended up being in the hospital for 8 out of the 9 months I was pregnant. So they let my job go, which I was devastated. I thought I had my forever job, but it was the best thing that could have happened to me, because while I was in the hospital, I was getting calls from these mom and pop companies I'd worked with asking questions about social. And I realized, like, okay, I don't want to go back to this job, let me go, and did this thing to me. But I realized that I really fell in love with working with social and working with companies. So that's when Now Marketing Group, the agency that I own, was born. And I started realizing the truth of how we can authentically relate to others by not making it about us, making it about them, and creating these experiences that would really want someone to open up and tell us a little bit more about us. And then we're just serving them and not trying to sell them instead. So crafting that, I developed a relationship marketing approach to really help companies kind of do the same thing on a scale that matches their story and their brand. But that's kind of how I fell into it, so to speak.
It's amazing. And it's what one thing I picked up there is where you're talking about how you get asked the same questions or the same stuff whilst you're in hospital. I just want to find out, have you ever created a course? Have you ever created a course either previously or currently?
Yeah, so I have the relationship marketing system where it goes through the 6-step relationship marketing sales funnel process that we talk about on what companies need to have in place in order to bring in the right and attract the right clients to them, to get them to want to do business with them. They can tell their story authentically, be able to authentically relate, and then how they stay in touch over time, and then measure the reduced churn and the repeat referral business. Because that's really what relationship marketing is. It is the process of attracting the right people in, keeping them longer, and turning them into advocates for you. So it's kind of like, inbound marketing, social media marketing, all these other tools are all a part of the process, but it's just thinking differently about marketing.
Yeah, we use something similar on our, we do a lot of webinars, and one of them is about that, like, we think of like a fly. Everyone talks about like the sales funnel, but now we talk about the flywheel, because once that customer is in, you have to almost like push them back out to go and talk about the rest of your to the rest of the market, and then it keeps like self-fulfilling. I
love the flywheel effect.
It's like it has to be one of those things you've got to get right, and that's why we want to, I always say, you've got to give a great experience to your students. It's not just about taking their credit card and running away with it. It's how can you make that, how can you get that right? Give them that transformation. Exactly. So so talking about like the relationship building elements of reaching out to people, what would you say is like the number one platform right now for people to reach out to someone on?
It really just depends on who your audience is, but I love video just because of the power of video, right? We can see each other, we can read each other's, tone. We can really connect as humans that way. We can look each other in the eyes. So I love video, and that is pretty much on any and every platform now. So it's saying something about video too. So you can direct, it's just how you use it, right? So like I love video even in email. I use a tool called BombBomb and send video emails back to people. Love that tool. Direct, messages back on Twitter to people and personalize it. But it depends on your audience now and what your goal is too. So if your goal is search engine optimization, I would say double down on YouTube as a platform, because you're getting video and search engine optimization as part of it. If your goal is to build a community and a tribe, Facebook groups is great for that, or Twitter. So it really just depends on your goal and your audience.
Yes, that's a really fair point. So for those that are out there in any type of different industry, just think about where your current customers are, and how can you adapt the video message to that platform.
We were who is it that we were talking? Madeline Sklar. So
I love her. Yeah, she is a rock star on Twitter.
And she was saying like, just reply with a video on Twitter, like if someone asks you a question.
Yeah, Twitter is great for that. It's like one-to-one. I mean, you literally can connect one person to one person to find anyone that you're looking for, which is great. The hidden, I would say, secret with video right now, one that is not that popular, but is catching a lot of attention for people that are using it right, is LinkedIn. If you can do some video on LinkedIn, people do not spend a lot of time there, but when they do, they're there intentionally, and there's not a lot of other competing content that you have to worry about. So if you are B2B and you're trying to get a message out, definitely double down on video on LinkedIn, because not a lot of people are there doing it, and you can definitely get some eyeballs pretty quickly in your content.
Yeah, no, that's a great tip. We are both on LinkedIn, and we are starting to use videos a little bit more. So yeah, it's easy way to engage. I want to ask just the audience that's watching, say hello to them. Hey guys, on Facebook and YouTube. If you guys have any questions, we're talking about relationship marketing, but it's kind of like segueing into video marketing and other things and social media. So if you guys have any questions when it comes to what you guys are doing, we'd love to know, what questions you guys have. We're happy to answer them for you. And also where you guys are from. So I think, mentioned there in the comments, we're in Vancouver. And Jessica, you are in
Ohio.
So you're what, 10 o'clock now? We're at 7 a.m. here.
7 a.m.
We're still waking up.
Oh, you guys are good. I was proud of myself for getting up at 7 a.m. I wouldn't know if I'd be all ready and prepared like that at 7.
Well, Rob's got a young family, so he's already,
half my day is done already.
He's since 3. I've got a small puppy, and she just licks my face when she wants to wake me up. So.
That's your alarm. That's awesome.
But hey, talking about when you're building relationships with people, then and talking about when me and you used to be picking up the phone and dialing people and disturbing their day. What's the best way now to almost to interrupt their day and reach out to them? What's the best way to get your message to them first?
I'd like to say be a magnet versus being a bullhorn. So you don't necessarily need to go to people. You just need to put the right magnets in place to draw people into you. So all the questions that we've asked so far, so we asked the social platform, where's the best place for video? All those questions are great. But the first question you have to ask yourself is, who are we as a company? What do we have of value, and who is the best that we can serve for this value? So really painting a picture of your ideal person, and then also painting a picture of who you can't serve, who you can't help, is so important to know your ideal buyer personas, but also your negative personas, or some people call them avatars, whatever. But truly painting a picture of what does a day in their life look like? Are they, do they have a young family and they're getting up early? So it's best for me to do my video marketing here at this time for this kind of person that's going to be searching this kind of thing. Because your course, let's just say, or your service or your product, whoever your audience is, they may not have aligned that your service, product, course, whatever is the solution to the problem they have. They may just know that, let's just say they want to start a business, and for example, and they are sick of making phone calls every day and calling people and interrupting their day, and they want to get started, and they know they have this thing to sell, but they don't realize that your solution can help them transition to maybe get their business started and making these figures, right? Or whatever it is. So you have to paint a picture of who your ideal audience is, what a day in their life looks like, and then start creating content and videos and messaging that's going to reach them where they're at today. And then start pushing that out on social and on your website, on your home base, to draw the right people into you. Once you have a few people that are using your service, then start building a relationship with them and let them do the work. Because they, if people love you and love what you're doing and they become super fans, they're going to spread the message for you. That's one tip. The second part is collaborating with others that are like-minded to make your magnet stronger. So think of other people that are related, that are serving the same audience, and see how you can build a relationship with them to collaborate. So your message becomes stronger and your magnet becomes stronger to draw the right people in.
Oh, that's great. I like what you said there about who your customer isn't, right?
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people out there are like, hey, I want a service, and then I'm trying to be everything to everyone. And so everyone is my audience. And I think it was Aaron Morin on our team. He's our lead product educator. One of the things he talks about is when he's creating a landing page for a course, he likes to put this course is for, and then people, and then this course is not for, and then he would list who it's not for. Right? So smart, because the people that you bring in, and all of us do this, or at least most of us do this, and I did this when I first got started. Anybody that wants to give you money, I can help you, right? And I was like, come on in. But you'll never satisfy the wrong person that you're not meant for. And then that person is going to talk to others and say, you know what, they weren't the best solution for me, or I didn't get value from that course, or whatever it
it is. So you want to make sure that you identify them head on, and not that you just have to reject them as a customer or client, but you can refer them to someone else maybe that you've met that can better serve that individual. And that way you're not spending time with the wrong people, because then you just get into this rut of trying to create content and try to satisfy the wrong person that's never going to stick with you, never going to refer you on, and it's just going to be a time suck.
Yeah, that's a very, very valuable lesson.
Yeah, totally.
So make sure everyone, think about your customer, your customer avatar, your customer persona you're looking to target, and obviously exclude the ones that are not. So we have a question that's coming from Dana Wyman. So Dana, my apologies, Dana Wyman. Dana, thank you so much for joining us on the live. Sister's question is, I own a flower shop and we have lots of relationship, wedding, funeral, birthday, anniversaries. So it's not like one personal group we can advertise to. It's very wide. Some of the things interest the some, where some it doesn't. And I think what she's getting at here is like, how could you create content, or how could you do that content that pulls people in?
Yeah, so she mentioned like a wide variety of people, but one that she mentioned was like a wedding group. So partner with like photographers and other people that are serving that wedding audience to get known. Photographers, maybe bridal wear, and create even a group for a referral network, even maybe on Facebook, that you can start, sharing secrets, create a collaborative piece of content, create some videos together, and just this strong referral network. You could have then some content on your website that's like, wedding planning 101, 6 months to the big day or something. Here's your guide to everything you need to know. And you're getting content with other people that is going to be, sharing and creating that content with you. So maybe it's something that you guys even share and can push out on social. And then other people that maybe you've worked with, have them create a campaign where they're sharing maybe their arrangement and how it was received by that person for that special day. Have them take pictures, maybe create a hashtag where then you're aggregating those pictures and then sharing them out, because people love being featured. So just a couple ideas there, a flower shop.
That's some real gold there.
Yeah, she's saying like she's only open till 6:30, so they aren't online during peak times. Maybe she's wondering, like, Dana, are you maybe thinking like, how do you then get active on social during when you're not open? I mean, there's tons of like scheduling tools. I don't know if that might help.
Definitely. I know, Rob, you can talk about this.
Yeah. I mean, there's tons. There's Hootsuite.
Yeah.
There's Later for Instagram.
Or Agora Pulse is great.
Yeah. Pulse. There's tons, so maybe that'll help if you guys aren't using that yet.
So maybe do your like what we're doing today. We're up at 6:37, and we're obviously dedicating just a bit of time to do these Facebook lives. And like yourself, then you could schedule up some posts throughout the week, or if everyone knows there's like a wedding season, for example, that sort of spring to summertime. You could start like sort of getting some stuff done ahead, ahead of the game, and
give access, like do it while you're working, right? Your phone, just take it with you as you're making an arrangement. Like, you are in the most beautiful setting possible to create content, and everything around you is content, even if it's just one flower. So like literally just make the arrangements, snap pictures, showing people maybe how you do it, some quick hacks as you're working, and you'll be creating more content than you realize, because you're literally in like a content paradise and what you do. But if you're worried about responding, so I don't know, maybe you can answer this question. If you're worried about, responding or keeping up with social after hours, just set the expectation for people. So in, Facebook, for example, you can say your hours, you can put it in descriptions on other networks on how people can best get a hold of you and your hours to do so. And then maybe look at some other people that maybe you can form some relationships with that can, either help be a content manager for you, or help like an agency or something like that can help manage your social media for you if you have the budget for it, if you want to keep up on it. But set some time, like the gentleman said here. Both of you guys gave some great tips, setting time dedicated each day to maybe checking it, to writing your content, to pushing it out, and then responding. But just make sure you're spending more time engaging than you are creating and pushing out content, because engagement is going to be the key there.
That's right. Definitely. I want to go back to one point you said about where you're creating content to pull people in. There's a lot of people creating content now. How can you make sure you stand up above your competition? What's the best way to do that?
be engaging and personalized. So the most that you can do is, like I said, I may not even post on social media every single day, but I am on social media engaging with someone every single day. So whether it's one-to-one creating content to someone else, maybe for birthdays, for example, you're maybe sending somebody a happy birthday message, or, you know, responding to a bride that maybe you're following, hashtag engaged or hashtag, you know, bridal, whatever, and responding to someone in this example of the florist shop, you know, make sure you're spending more time engaging. Other people are going to take notice of that. That's one way of creating content that stands out, because you're memorable that way, because you created an emotion. You've personally, you know, did something where somebody's going to see it and respond that way. The other way is just being authentic, like not trying to do the same thing everyone else is doing. You know, do something that is personal to you. No one else can replace you. So that's the other beautiful thing about video if you're creating content, because no one else is you. So you will have your own style to it and your own personality. So bring that, and that's how people really stand out there. And then the other way of standing out on social is literally just to be consistent with it, and be helpful.
Yes.
So the more helpful and consistent that you can be, that's another way that you're going to stand out above your competition.
Yeah,
That's consistency is the key. Doing it every single day.
Show up every day.
Yeah.
That's great. We've got a question here from your country person from London.
My fellow Londoner. Well, I'm from Essex. It's close enough.
Essex.
It's close enough. East. I sound like an Eastender. So Jason Statham, minus the good looks and the ruggedness. So Christiana, hello there. How are you doing? So hi from London. Is relationship marketing about sharing useful information, giving value for a bit before then marketing? Would you say that's a true question?
Yeah.
That's a true
statement? I would say that is a true statement. Yeah, because in order to build a relationship, if you don't have a network already, you're going to have to create that valuable content first before you're able to truly build a full relationship marketing approach. So I would say that is a very true statement. Know who you are first. That's step one. You know, your brand, what you want to be known for, what people should know about you and what they should say about you. Because if you want to grow that word of mouth referrals, people need to know what you do and how you do it, and then easily be able to articulate that to someone else to know what you do. And then that's why they're going to want to refer you. So usually it's from that helpful content that you've had or something that you've served to someone that is of value, so they can repeat it on and refer them on. So I'd say that, yeah, that's very true.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, what let's hear a horror story then. What's like the worst way that someone's reached out to you, or where you've gone, I really don't like this person. I don't like the message. But reach back out to them, give them some very constructive feedback. Have you had anything?
Oh God. So all of us are on LinkedIn here, right? So there's definitely horror stories there. So LinkedIn, I would say I have a lot of them. It drives me bananas when somebody tries to add you and then immediately goes to the pitch. Like, that is a definite horror. I still get super turned off when people are calling and trying to sell me on something. The other that I get super annoying is when they won't tell you the price. Going onto a website, and it's a horror story when they don't tell you the price or when I tell you anything until they want to get you on the phone. Like, gotta talk to you first, right? Because it makes us think, what are you hiding? Like, what are you hiding? Like, you can give me, I don't care if you say it's between $5,000 and $5 million, but just give me some kind of thing to go off of and give me the what is going to make it different. But when people are trying to hide behind things or they go straight to the pitch, that is worst case scenarios, turned off. Yeah.
Right. So for everyone out there, don't connect. And also, if I don't know, they have these quick connect things on LinkedIn. Yeah. Do not use those, because they automatically send hey, I'd just like to connect with you, automatic message. Yeah. Do not use that.
Don't use bots.
Do not use bots either.
Yeah, do not use bots. And for the love of God, the 5% of people that are still out there automating their Facebook to their Twitter, please turn it off. Like, it's the other worst thing.
That as well. Really good. Well, actually, there's a comment and a question. So Christiana saying,
we're banning Brexit here. Yeah, that's what I live. Something Canada.
Oh,
saw that in my crystal ball. That's for sure.
And Dina had a question, or Dina. Sorry, we're not saying your name right. Wait 1 second. She's saying something about her Facebook page. So saying, I'd love to engage with the people that like our business page, but it's a business account. We don't have access to view that. Is there any way around that? Definitely. I'm sure Jessica, you have an answer for this, but we also had a guest, Bella Basta, who I think
Facebook groups. Yep. Yep. That's exactly what I was going to say. Yeah.
So you can, speak on that a little bit, because she gave us the analogy of a front yard and a backyard.
Yes. And that's so good. So true. Yeah. And that is a great way of looking at it. So for your Facebook business page, exactly what they said, you can create a Facebook community. So a Facebook business page, like Bella says, is like the front yard. This is like, the front of your house, everything looks all beautiful. But when you want to invite people in to build a deeper relationship with you, you're like, hey, come hang out in the backyard. Let's have a party and let's, kick our shoes off and hang out together. So that's like the Facebook group. And that's how Bella explains the Facebook groups. But I'm a huge fan of Facebook groups, and Facebook groups now allows business pages to create them and manage them both as the business avatar, but also as the individuals from the company and community managers, so they can really get to know the people at the company a lot deeper. You can and should be able to respond as yourself, though, on a business page. If you just flip it from the logo, you have that little drop down kind of upside down triangle, and switch it to yourself to respond to people and just let them know, maybe, hey, I'm so-and-so with this company, whatever. So you should still be able to respond to people on your Facebook business page, the front yard, so to speak. But also the magic happens definitely in the Facebook groups. There's a lot of action that can happen there when properly, kept up and engaged with. So
great tip. Really great tip. So Della, if you're having some trouble finding that after the Facebook Live, drop us out a quick message, webinars@thinkific.com. My attention, Rob and Paddy, and we'll either shoot you a little how-to video. Or,
and I have some as well too. I can even put in a link, comment there. Yep. Just how to create it.
That's perfect. Yeah. It's a great tip. She was saying like front yard, backyard. We're like, that's exactly what it is.
It's an easy way of explaining it for sure. Bella's amazing. Yeah.
Oh, and what's really cool is if you do that, I think you can also do stories inside your group. So like Instagram stories, you can do the same thing, or repurpose your Instagram stories. Post it as, so it's so good, and others can join in with it. So we do a conference each year, Social Media Week Lima, which you will be speaking at. Yay! But each year we build a Facebook group of all the attendees and speakers there, so everybody can get to know each other, before the event, start building some relationships. But then during the event, we can create Facebook stories, and all of us can add too. So, and then we save that story, so you're able to kind of experience it all year round if you want to go back and check some things out. But it's a great way of building community and keeping people engaged, and we keep that group active all year long, with sharing different things that are happening and asking questions, keeping people in the know about things that are relevant to that group. And it's a great way of not only getting retention of people signing back up, but keeping the relationship solid with everybody that was there.
That's the way. Yeah, that's definitely the way to do it. So we want to go back to talk a bit more about obviously the relationship building aspects, and the ways to reach out to people. So we've talked about how you can use videos, the best way to do it. We've talked about how you've got to obviously use pull marketing, and you've got to get content out there to get the right people in. So now that you've sort of made some connections with people, what's like the next steps to ensure that you're giving them a great experience?
Yeah, so definitely bringing people in, right? So we talked about that, but then getting them to convert or opt into something so you can stay in touch with them. So we talked about Facebook groups. That's definitely a way of opting in, but also on your home base, something that you own is always the best. So whether you do have a webinar on your website, and you're getting people to opt into that, or whether you have some kind of content deep dive on something that you're really trying to help them solve, and they've exchanged their name and email address for a piece of that content, then it's staying up to date with them and staying in touch with them through email, marketing approach, through the Facebook community, if you're inviting them in there, wherever that is, but definitely making sure that you have something on your home base, your website, to get people to opt into, and staying in touch with them, because you want to continue to deepen that relationship, so they, of course, that they're going to want to refer you on, they remember you, and then they're not just hearing from you every time that you have something new to sell, or their contract's renewing, or their membership's expiring, or whatever from there. Then you want to measure your results and see how things are going. You want to make sure that you're, seeing, are people converting more? Are they staying with us longer? Or, what is our referral return rate? And then keep improving upon your plan. And then add in a measurement of delight. So what can you do that's a little bit different? People expect you to do what you say that you're going to do. They expect to get what they paid for, right? But what can you add in that's going to surprise and delight them a little bit, stand out a little bit more? We do a thing called Sugar Wish, where we send like digital candy store evites, and that sends them some candy, or a personalized card, or a personalized video, but something that's personalized to that individual that's going to stand out a little bit more and get them to remember you.
Definitely, yeah. We use our world famous hoodies.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the logo. There we go. World famous hoodies to do it as a way to obviously delight our partners and the people that we collaborate with. Yeah, absolutely. You've got to make. There's so much content and there's so much information out there. You have to once you've got that person in, you have to make them feel special. And obviously, when you do that, that's when they can go out and become your advocates, become the people who just want to be those raving fans. So what would you say is that definition then of like an advocate or a raving fan for your business?
Yeah, someone that's willing to put their name on the line to refer you to a friend or family member. Like, it's one thing to do business with you, but to put their name on the line and refer you to someone else, that's a raving fan. Someone that's willing to shout your name out online, that's typically a raving fan. That's a fanatic, right? That's what fan stands for, fanatic. So that's someone that's willing to advocate for you. So definitely want to equip more of those individuals to do that for you through, like you said, the swag, or even just featuring them, featuring their story and their success. Like, that's how even large companies are doing this, where they're featuring successes or experiences that others have had. And that keeps people coming back because they love seeing themselves featured and sharing that with others there.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I think, a lot of people, a lot of course creators, certainly a lot of course creators and digital entrepreneurs on our, within our Facebook group, they've probably got students, if they don't have to have hundreds or even, even 800, just shine the spotlight on that, so challenge to you all today, if you're watching this on the replay or live, go and shine a spotlight on one of your customers today. Make a, and I think Bella actually mentions this as well on our Facebook live video as well previously. Shine a spotlight on them and make them feel good about themselves.
Yeah, just say like, hey, like, check out this person, like my student, he did this or she did this, and just tag them. I think it just makes their day, right? Just
absolutely.
Like, shine light on them.
Yeah, who doesn't like being in the limelight?
Exactly. And introducing other people. I think actually how we met, Rob, you were actually asking for people to be on the show. Like, who should you interview? And I could have easily put my name, but I didn't. I put all these other names of people that you mentioned on there because they are really super great at what they do. So be a known connector. Like, think of, how can I shine the light? It's still shining light on other people though. And it still ended up where I'm here, right? So it's not, I didn't discount myself on anything. By doing that though, now all these people are happy. They got to be on it. If they're amazing what they do, everyone got to benefit from their expertise, and it's still a win. But the same thing can be done in any situation.
Yeah, I think the lesson is just to find ways to give first. I think that's where relationship marketing, one of the questions is like, find ways to help your audience or your network or the people that are like, looking up to you. Just find ways to like help them out. Like, is there, any tips or questions or anything that you can answer?
It's authentic relating. Yeah.
Not like, hey,
how would you help a family?
Game, right?
How would you help like your mum, dad, your brother, your sister, your aunt, whoever it is? You'd probably do a little bit extra for them, and you'd want to make sure you're doing like you said, Jessica. Give either the right referral or the right recommendation, because it's they're important people in your life. So if you can make your customers important people in your life, that's the key there.
Just treat it the same way. There's a question here, kind of just circling back. Christiana's saying Facebook algorithms means most members don't see member posts, so she's speaking Slack now. So Slack works.
Slack definitely works. I think I know, Jessica, you have some thoughts on this. But Slack works. But I think obviously having the Facebook even the Facebook custom audience is like a very powerful thing for you then to targets. So they may
absolutely,
even
yeah.
Posts, you could still have something where you use the Slack maybe for the day-to-day, but also have the group just so you can have that retargeting element.
That goes back to knowing your audience, because you want to make it a frictionless experience for someone. You don't want to tell them where to go or how to, respond or interact with you. Feel out what's going to be as frictionless as possible for them, where they're already hanging out and they're spending their time, and you are just being a part of that day and a part of helping them out. So if that audience is on Facebook and you're worried that they're not going to see your page post, then that's where Facebook groups would be a beautiful thing. Or a messenger, stream. Don't forget about Messenger. There's some great benefits to that too, depending on the size. But just look at your audience, who they are, and where it's going to be as natural and comfortable for them to hang out, where you can provide the most value.
Yeah, definitely. A messenger, obviously Messenger. We were talking with Katia yesterday about messenger bots, and obviously bots are great. I was going to say bots are great for business. Bots for business is a big plug. Our old company there.
Brilliant name right there. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? It's bots are great because they have that amazing way of just appearing on the front of your phone, and you're always going to be like, oh, who's this? And so getting that
when in the right hands, yes, they're great.
Exactly. With great power comes great responsibility.
Yes,
that's going to be
that should be the tagline for all bots.
Yeah.
Seriously. Yeah.
I think I can definitely see us, all three of us, creating a course on that now, being like the first. Take off our Spider-Man. Great power comes great responsibility, Rob.
Friday.
Yeah. Friday. So Jessica, obviously it looks like you've got a really busy 2019. So tell us a bit more about what you're going to be up to next year.
Yeah, so next year, still speaking and trying to spread the word of relationship marketing and how brands can look differently at their marketing. So very first gig is Social Media Marketing World 2019. So I'll be there. Also, we host our own conference, Social Media Week Lima, in June to do that. And then just growing with our clients and our team here. We're really interested in and always improving our approach to relationship marketing and what it's going to look like in the future as things do move more to storytelling and helping our clients become better storytellers. There will be a book coming out on relationship marketing around February time period, so fingers crossed all goes well. So that will be
we'll spread the word out for that.
Yeah,
learn us for that.
Yeah, that's great. Awesome. So before we wrap it up, if anyone has any last minute questions, we'd love to answer them for you. In the meantime, Jessica, where can people find you?
Yeah, so you can find me on all the socials. You can go to jessikaphillips.com and click any of the social links up top, which will connect you to my personal pages there. Probably the most active on Facebook and Instagram. On Instagram, it's Relationship Marketing Jessica, or the company website, nowmarketinggroup.com, has the most resources if you want to dig in more to relationship marketing.
Awesome. I love the quote on the front of your website: relationships are more powerful than marketing.
Yep.
Yeah, so true.
Yeah, it is.
That's great. I'm going to go through and make sure, but I think we're good for questions. Connect with Jessica. I'm going to put all the links in all the chats. And in the meantime, where can people find Thinkific if they want to start creating courses?
Yeah, if you want to go start creating courses, we've dropped a few links into the chat, so do check them out there. But you can also head on over to thinkific.com. I always say always make it sound like a hard F, but I promise you it's not. It's THINKIFIC, thinkific.com. Head on over to thinkific.com if you're thinking of creating your first and next online course with us. But importantly, head on over to Jessika Phillips' website, jessikaphillips.com. And if you want to know everything about relationship marketing, this is the lady to go and see.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
And we will see you on the next Facebook Live. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Jessica.
Bye.